unable to finish it off. Unable to finish it off. Fuck you. Okay, here we go. I didn't want to make this video, but we lost to the fucking Knicks and Hornets within a week. And not only did we lose to the Knicks, we did so by giving up a 15-0 run to end the game, after being up 18 in the third quarter. So, let's talk about this shit. Let's just get it out of the way.
Absolutely incredibly with the acrobatic alley-oop.
Boylen sucks ass. Like, fucking good God, man. If you're one of those people that don't like when I curse in my videos, then go ahead and click off of this one and go do a confession or some shit, you little bitch, because I'm gonna curse in this video because this is my team and I care. With that said, what the fuck are these rotations? Can anyone tell me? I went to the game versus the Charlotte Hornets on opening night, and I sat about as far away as you can because I'm cheap. And I was up there screaming at the top of my lungs to stagger Zach and Lauri Markkanen's minutes. Unfortunately, I don't think he heard me, being that I was 1,000+ feet away from him, still saw that big fucking dome, but I was very far, and I was in a loud arena. Though, to be fair, how loud can a Hornets arena really get? But now that I'm not 1,000 feet away and instead am in a video that Jim Boylen will never see, I'm going to complain about these trash-ass rotations. I don't think there's any place that officially tracks this, or if there is such a thing, it is a very obscure website, but Jim Boylen has not staggered Zach and Lauri's minutes at all. They've pretty much played exclusively together. There's only been like 2 or so minutes max per quarter where one is playing without the other. This is a huge problem. Lauri was an 18-point per game scorer for us last year. Zach averaged 24. These are our scores. When they are not on the court, Coby White, don't get me wrong, he's been great, is our best scorer, and that's a problem. So, stagger their fucking minutes. It's basic shit. There are 48 minutes in a basketball game. Zach and Lauri are both getting around 32 minutes a game. That is 64. A full stack of minutes. Shout out to you if you get that. So spread that shit out. It's not that complicated. It's actually pretty much a fundamental of being a head coach. Your team needs consistent offensive options out there. If your best bench scorer is a rookie, you need to stagger your starting scores to make up for the fact that your best scorer off of the bench is a rookie. But instead, you play them almost exclusively together, which takes away a bit from Lauri as well, because when that's the case, he never gets a chance to be the #1 option in the offense. When Zach's on the court, he's going to be the guy that the offense looks to get the ball to score, as he should be. At the moment, he's definitely a far superior offensive player to Lauri Markkanen. But Lauri needs those opportunities when Zach is not on the court to increase his aggressiveness, not only for the team and himself right now, but for the future as well. Play him next to Lavine all the time, and he's never going to develop that aggressiveness that he needs to become a star player. Outside of that, which is the main of many issues that I have with our rotations, why is Ryan Arcidiacono, who I am taller than, playing small forward off of the bench, especially when you have Denzel Valentine, who is a better shooter and is 6'7"? Why is he playing in lineups with Coby White and Chris Dunn on the court? The Bulls are consistently going to 3-guard lineups and also consistently going to no starter lineups. Full bench unit. Archie, Coby, Dunn, Thad, and Luke Cornett. Fucking Cornett. We'll get to him in a second. Running your entire bench unit for more than like a minute is some shit you do in 2K. That's not reality. It's like he clicks the sub button on the side and just selects bench. That is unacceptable. Also, this has been less of an issue since the first game, but it still seems to be an issue. He has barely played the starters together, which seems contradictory. How are you playing the bench unit exclusively together, but yet also not staggering out the starters like that? I don't even know how you do that. In the game versus the Hornets, the starting lineup only played 11 minutes together. That should be more like 15 or 20 depending on the situation, so bump that up, please. And finally, why the fuck is Luke Cornett playing. I could excuse the first game versus Charlotte. Maybe the second game, but 4 games in now, this shit is inexcusable. I have been told before that Luke Kornet is a decent defender. I call bullshit. He is trash. He was consistently matched up against Bobby Portis, who cooked him for a good 14 to 18 or so of his points. And what did Kornet contribute offensively to make up for this atrocious defense? A fake handoff dunk and 2 missed 3-pointers. Oh, and let's not forget that 1 rebound. That was a tricky one. For the first 4 games, he's shooting below 20% from 3, getting just 2 boards and getting killed on the defensive end.
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball.
7'3" for fucking nothing. Not that I'm one to criticize because I'm 6'4" and I can't dunk. But we don't need to talk about that. But who is the potential replacement for this bum if we were to finally bench him? Well, a defensive stud who is wildly athletic, a great rebounder, and throws down some crazy dunks that really bring the energy up in games. I am talking about Daniel Gafford, who in his second year in Arkansas averaged 17, 9, and 2 in 27 minutes a game. Good rebounding, good defense, and like I said, he is an energy guy. He made this play last year. A great block and runs the full length of the court for a windmill dunk. He's a really fun player, and when he throws down one of his vicious dunks in a game, it really energizes the team, and that kind of momentum is pivotal. The Bulls have found success with energy bigs like this in the past. Ironically enough, Bobby Portis was the most recent one, Taj was before him, and then there was Joakim Noah. These types of guys can make momentum shifting plays that can be pivotal. These types of guys are great at shifting momentum, and I'm sorry to this man Luke Kornet, but even if he hit 4 3-pointers, he's not going to shift momentum like that. But more importantly than that, Gafford would not have gotten cooked by Bobby Portis. And if you're not a fan of college stats, in the 2 games that Gafford was given real minutes in the preseason, he put up 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 blocks versus the Bucks, and 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 5 steals versus the Pacers. The guy can rebound and defend and make momentum-shifting plays. He should be playing over Kornet at this point, no question. He has earned the respect of everyone in Chicago but Jim Boylen, apparently. Before I move on from the rotation, I want to talk about the one rotation move that Boylen has made that I do agree with. No, Coby White should not start. Coby has been very impressive to start the season. So much so that I have decided to take back calling him a little overrated on my podcast, though now that people are overreacting this much, I might not want to take it back. He had 17 and 7 in his debut versus Charlotte, and it was really fun to watch in person, and he was the reason that we won versus the Grizzlies with 25 on 63% shooting. But if he isn't coming off of the bench, those performances do not happen. He was the first option for a good chunk of the offense, and that does not happen playing next to Zach Lavine and Markkanen. In the role he is currently in, presuming that the staggering actually happened, he could be the perimeter scorer that you put next to Markkanen when Zach Lavine is on the bench. But if you were to just take Coby and start him, presuming he plays a lot of minutes with the starters, his role changes a lot. And his impact gets worse, and most importantly, if you start Coby, it means that Thomas Satoransky is now on the bench. When you're looking for your offense off of the bench, do you want Coby White to be your main scorer, or do you want Thomas Satoransky? I feel like that's a pretty easy decision. Plus, both are getting roughly the same minutes. Actually, Coby is technically getting more. So it really does not matter. It would only be a negative to start him. Also, to the handful of people that think Thomas Satoransky sucks, you're really showing yourself to just be a casual basketball fan. He shot poorly to open the year, but Thomas is kind of like the Al Horford of point guards in that his impact is not shown in the box score. He doesn't have an Al Horford level impact, but he is that type of guy. He struggled shooting the ball thus far this season, but he's not bad. It's just a shooting slump that everyone on this team seems to be in. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who starts, it matters who finishes. Oh, and one last rotational thing. Markkanen at center needs to be a situational thing, because we need rim protection against most teams most of the time, so it needs to be in moments where the damage can be minimized. Anyways, that segment of my complaints was long, but let's move on to my next one, which is defense, and this one will not be so long. It's actually quite short. Stop fucking leaving shooters open. And scene. And the last thing, my issues with the offense. A lot of these issues have come with the poor rotations, but not all of them. Going into the year, this team was displaying a lot of team ball and off-ball movement, but outside of the first quarter versus the Knicks, that has not seemed to translate. The Bulls are 26th in the league in passing in the first 4 games of the year, and they were 27th last year, and that's actually with 2 less assists a game. So I'm not even going to be able to give you credit for the marginal improvement in ranking. And while yes, the incredibly bad shooting percentages will increase just by regressing to the mean, it does not mean that it's entirely just bad luck. This offense has sucked at generating open looks. All this ball movement and motion offense has disappeared in favor of ISOs or spread pick and rolls. I guarantee you we would be shooting a lot better if Lowry was getting more open looks and Otto Porter Jr. was coming off of some screens for threes. Do something to get these guys open outside of waiting for the defense to help off of them. The amount of wide open threes we've gotten to open this year has been very minimal. But with all that said, this is an NBA playoff roster. We got Zach, who can be an all-star this year, Lowry, who can make a really big jump, Otto Porter Jr., who had us at 500 in the 15 games that he played with us last year, that plus a handful of new vets, a new 6th-man scorer as a rookie, and hopefully having some health on our side. This team can make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, provided that the coaching doesn't fuck it up. Have there been mistakes made that have been exclusively on the players? Yeah, but most of the issues have come down to coaching. I have been a defender of Boylen in the past. I understand that I made this shitty video clowning him when he first became the head coach, but I came around to him in February. But since this season has started, I am no longer making excuses and being optimistic about this guy as our head coach. You can say it's just been 4 games for a player, but for a coach, the mistakes that he's been making are a sign of incompetence, not just a bad start. Not knowing to stagger Zach and Lowry is inexcusable. Running your entire bench lineup for multiple minutes a game is inexcusable. Running a stagnant offense after bragging about the ball movement is just sad. We should be 3-1 right now, not 1-3. And Boylen is responsible for that. Please get this dude's big ass, shiny melon head the fuck out of Chicago. Anyways, with all that said, I actually do want to end on a positive note. Bulls fans need to calm down with hitting the panic button to open the year. Please feel free to hit the panic button on Jim Boylen, because that's what this video is, so it'd be hypocritical of me to tell you not to. But as I said, most of this is not on the players, it is on the coaching. The personnel on this roster is good enough to get us to 40 wins. When the shooting picks back up, we can become at least a solid NBA team regardless of the stupid decisions by Jim Boylen. So once that figures itself out, we should be alright. But still, fire Jim Boylen and make the new transition for the new guy not nearly as fucked as the last time, because that was a nightmare in itself. And to close the video, being that we've lost to the Hornets and the Knicks within the last couple of days, I'm going to go cry in my bed and blast Green Day so my parents can't hear me. That's the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content like this, and cue the outro music.